Hello, welcome to my channel, Favored Readings. I'm Kymmy, and today we will be doing a pick a pile reading using Rhapsodomancy, which is an ancient form of divination that was used by muses in Greece. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to let everyone know that I am not doing personal readings at this time, and even if I was, I will never reach out and contact you and tell you that I want to do a reading for you. I'll be waiting on those who feel called to get readings from me. If someone messages you, it's a scam, and please do not give them your hard-earned money and spend it on your beautiful self or towards others who have linked inside of their description box that they are willing to give personal readings. And yeah, that's a sort of disclaimer. And since it's a general reading, it may not resonate with everyone. Either it may not be your pile, or it just might not be your reading. You're very welcome to look at any of the other readings that I do, or listen if you just enjoy my process. And yeah, so today for pile number one, they're not crystals, they're just polished rocks that I really enjoy because I like collecting rocks, sediments, and minerals and stuff like that. And the first group will be this turquoise lined ones with the little dots on the back that I really enjoy, and I keep with all the rest of my rocks and crystals. And pile number two will be this black and cream, white and gray colors, those spots. I really enjoy this one myself. And for pile number three, we have this purple rock. It's really shiny there, if the light will take it, so you can see how dark it is in some spots and light purple in the other. I don't think the camera quite does it justice, but it's really pretty. So yeah, if you wanted to take a moment and decide, I will have a, what is it called? Clip picture attached with pictures of them on the front so that you can look at it directly. If that's how you choose. And I will move on to pile number one. So pile number one, you pick the turquoise rock for your home divination. Today I will not be using the book that I usually go with it, as my guides have been calling me to just stick with getting messages from the poetry, so we will move on into that. 46 poems, so pile number one, messages from the universe. Messages from the universe, pile number one. Pile number one, please, guides, guardians, and there we go. So you have 33 is the number. You may be seeing repeated numbers of threes, either on your phone, when you check the clock, numbers that you get on scores when you're playing video games, receipts, stuff like that. So, I don't have anything to do. I went to go grab a book, but I'm just going to go straight into it. So poem number 33. Okay, poem number 33 is called Silver Lining. Silver lining, immersed creativity, everlasting capacity, Nubilous foundation, exhilarating sensation, rife perpetuate, heavily levitate, tension breaks, thunder quakes, shower makes its end, welcoming rainbows bend. So I feel like for pile number 1, also 33 could be your master number for the numerology of your birthday. You don't have to, but it could be your path number. I do see that a lot of pile number 1s are slowly making their way out of heavy feelings and heavy times to finding their rainbow, and the rainbow always reminds me of 10 cups, so that's really something we're celebrating. It's like really great. It looks like, you know, it was heavy for a while with the tension breaking, and it feels like you're making yourself through it, like you're levitating back up, like rising like a phoenix. You know, someone thought that they were gonna break you down, or maybe it wasn't a person, it could have been a situation, or even yourself that you thought that was like at your breaking point, and you were crying a lot and letting out a lot of heavy energy with the thunderquakes. Also, thunder reminds me of a static. So there could have been a static within a situation, either at work or money situation, and now it's, you know, losing that charge and stuff like that, and you're finding that exhilarating sensation of relief after, you know, a hard time has come around. And everyone has ups and downs, but it feels like our pile number 1 is going through one of those up times. And, you know, as much as the low times really hurt and can be hard to navigate because we're all human and we don't have a map. Well, besides soul contract, but even then with soul contract you still don't have a map because you have free will. It's not set in stone. So when we have those down times, it really makes us appreciate the up times more. So I feel like you're, you know, that exhilarating sensation of like, yes, I made it through and I'm proud of you guys, all of you. Proud of every one of you, because you made it through. You made it through the other side, even though you may have had naysayers, even if that was yourself, or it may have been, you know, where you had to pick yourself up a couple of times and be like, nope, I got this. And that's amazing. Not everyone can do that, so I'm proud of you. With the immersed creativity, some of you may be creators. That could be creative in any sense. You could be writers, you could be energy healers with the, or teachers with the Life Path 33. You don't have to be Life Path 33 to teach other people or to be creative. You could be writers, you could be video game endorsers, you could be fashion designers, getting especially some of you may be botanists or herbalists with the everlasting, because everlasting always reminds me of trees. And some of you may have an everlasting capacity for creativity. Some of you may be practicing on doing astral projection or astral travel while you're sleeping, or possibly even have Telepathy. Yeah, I kept thinking that telepathy was telepathic, but it's not. So I was right the first time. Some of you may be trying telepathy, and that's where you get lights flickering on and off. It can either be a sign of spirit, or it could be your energy is flourishing and exploding so much that you're setting off technology around you. You may notice that your clocks, watches, whenever you try to use one, or your phone may lose power because you literally are like, it's like a car battery. When one vehicle's stronger than the other, it makes the other one go woof, and like it may not be, compatible. Just like the energy may be off for a little bit, or when your energy is low, you may suck the phone and you realize your phone battery's dying faster than it should. Either way, I'm getting too much into that. You may want to look up some things if you believe in it. That may be some of what you're working on, or maybe doing without realizing. That's what I'm getting with the heavily levitate. So Wraith perpetuate. Some of you may be dealing with fae folk, good folk, whatever you may want to call it, because I know Wraith, at least the way it's spelled inside my poem, Writhe. At least I think so. If not, either way, that's what's intuitively coming to me. If you don't believe in them, that's perfectly fine. If you are, just to give you a heads up, St. John's wort is very good to have around to make sure that you're getting good folk, because not all of them are kind and they can be pretty tricky to deal with. But yeah, Nubilis Foundation, some of you may be traveling to past lives when you were Starseeds and stuff like that, if you want to look into that more. With the Nubilis, because it reminds me of space. Foundation, which means home, to me anyways, because of the Four of Wands, which reminds me of a happy, healthy home. So some of you may be past life regressing and not even to your earth selves if you've had them. This could be your first incarnation here, but I feel like most of you, it's not your first incarnation here, but you have incarnated on different planets before. I will make sure that there's a link of different stuff in the bottom for you if you're interested. But yeah, it seems really, you've done a lot of work and inner work, and I know healing your shadow self and working against, quieting your ego and possibly a dark night of the soul and Kundalini awakenings. It's not easy. Healing is, everyone thinks it's rainbows and sunshines, but it's not. It's after you do the work that you get the rainbows and sunshines. And even then, you can still have rainy days, and that's okay because we're human, having a human experience, and it goes like this. Is the same as time not being linear, neither is healing, and neither is our daily experiences. So try not to be so hard on yourself. I see here, especially with the title Silver Lining, you may be getting a little hard on yourself and not seeing how some of the things that came into your life is a lesson, and some of the things are a blessing. Now, it doesn't mean you deserve bad things, but you can definitely learn and become wiser so that you can possibly avoid having to deal with that again in the future. Anything else, universe? Oh, daily affirmations with to break the tension within yourself, and daily affirmation, and like to pump yourself up. They say the universe is saying some of you may not feel as creative, or you may have some imposter syndrome, and that's perfectly okay. It's a normal human experience to feel that way sometimes. Affirmations like, I am creative, I am on the right path, I am deserving of blessings, stuff like that, to give your inner child some reassurance, because I know that it's easier to be hard on yourself than to be your own hype person, and everyone deserves a hype person, but if it comes from you, it's like extra brownie points for your inner child, because your inner child's like, yes, you're taking care of me, thank you. So that's the last thing that the universe wanted me to let you know. And are we doing this today, Spirit? Okay, yes. Do some pulling for some extra. Well, this one's definitely supposed to come. All right, let's see. I see a lot of zeros. There's 4 of them here, and there's the number 4. So 4s may be important to you at this time. I know that 000 has something in numerology. You may want to look it up, especially with the quadruple zeros. I know that even zeros have messages in numerology, but the 3 zeros, or it could be 40, you could be turning 40, it could be 4 years that you've been practicing or had gotten through something. I know that the triple zeros to me means a timer. So some of you may feel like your time is running out, and I just wanted to let you know that divine timing, everything will happen, and what's meant for you will not pass you by, and all things are unfolding naturally. And don't feel like you're running behind, because you're on your schedule with the universe, on the universe's time. So don't feel like time's run out for you. Also with the 000, it reminds me of when I have a timer on for food. So some of you may be creative, like cooks or herbalists. I already said that before, so this is double confirmation that some of you may be doing kitchen witchery, or whatever you may call yourself, druid, whatever you may identify as in your craft. I just call myself a craft person. I do my craft. That is it. I have or not initials, I have letters, they could be initials, R and I. So I have Rhea and Rita and Iris, Rise. I did say Phoenix, so it could be Rise like the Phoenix. You guys are rising right now and breaking free from the ashes of what people or yourself thought that you would only stay ashes after they burned you, or the situation burned you, or you burnt yourself out. It could be that you just burnt yourself out, and now you got to rise back from that burnout. And I'm letting you guys know, with the 4, stability, like I said, stability from the foundation, and 4s and 4s, double 4, it confirms that you're moving on to more stability within your life. And that's everything I have for pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed my home as well as my intuitive guidance. And I hope to see you in my next videos. And yeah, if you'd like to give a comment on maybe a subject or title you'd like to see, yeah. Yeah, I'm so piped for all of you because, like, yeah, hype man. Yeah, that's everything I have for now. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. All right, bye. All right, pile number 2. If you picked this speckled creams and browns and grays and black rock, this is for you. Now, I will be not using the book that I normally use to flip through, as Spirit has guided me towards just using my intuitive messages from my poems for Rhapsodomancy. So let's get into it. Okay. Pile number 2, please, Spirit. Messages from the universe. Pile number 2, Spirit guides, guardians, and pile number 2. Thank you, Spirit. Number 5. So number 5 could be important. You could be seeing in video games, scores and stuff like that, receipts, and on the clock. So here we go. This one is a little heavier. So if you're not ready at the moment to hear heavy messages, although as usual, I will be making sure that I hype you up and give you as much support and advice as I can. But if you're not ready, that's fine. You can click off the video, ground yourself, and come back at any time. Number 5, Battle of the Heart. Stay or leave? Do they care for me? Questions making me crazy with pain. Heartache making me insane. Every action seems to push them away, more and more, each passing day. Feeling as if I'm in the way, annoyance of a child who's less work and more play. Now it's just a cruel twist of fate that I shall lose a mate. Although told everything is great, resentment starts to grow to hate. I tried the trying task of letting go. It seems I've reached my final low. One of us has become bored. The other one was the one to cut the cord. Staying took its toll, left to mend the heart and soul. So pile number 2, first I wanted to say that I love you and that I understand what it is like to feel rejected and confined and feeling trapped within a relationship, whether that's family, friendships, or intimate relationships. I wanted you to let you know, from the universe, wanted to let you know that being childlike is so beautiful and innocent, and no one should ever make you feel less than for having a childlike innocence and playfulness about you. That's how you stay young forever, is by, and also heal. Never mind just staying, but heal. And most cases when you go to therapy, they tell you to heal and reach out to your inner child. So no, if anyone's, being down on you about how playful you are and how, you know, you prefer work to play. As long as you get your work done, like if you get your work done and you want to play, then play. Don't force yourself to constantly be working and burn yourself out. And if someone's making you feel less than, it's okay to be alone. I know a lot of individuals do not want to leave because they're afraid to be alone. But I want to let you know you're worth you. You're worth you. You're worth knowing yourself. You're worth liking yourself. And you definitely deserve better than to constantly second guess the relationship, especially if it's creating resentment, which will only spiral into guilt on yourself and shame for feeling that way because you're not being loved the way you want to. And everyone has their different love languages. And just because it didn't work out doesn't mean you failed, doesn't mean you're not deserving of a relationship. And just because if they go off and they find someone else doesn't make them better than you. If you go off and find someone else, doesn't make the next person you find better than them either. Or if you stay with yourself, does not make you any better or any less. It just makes that person better for them. It just makes your new person better for you. And if that new person is just you, then yes, you are better for you. Because if you're going to be feeling loved alone, then compared to being with someone, do it. You gotta leave behind family, a place, a town. Of course, I'm not saying just pack up and go if you don't have the means to, but make a plan. Don't tell anyone, because people like that, especially if I get some feelings that some of you are dealing with manipulators as well as possible, I don't like to say this word a lot, but narcissists. And yeah, they'll make you seem like it's your fault because you don't feel loved, and that's not okay. Even if they're not toxic, it's still okay to just feel like you can't anymore. It's okay. It doesn't make you fail. It doesn't make you bad for leaving. But whatever's meant for you will not pass you by. And sometimes letting go, like the trees in autumn, they let go and doesn't make their leaves the next year any less beautiful or flourished or abundant or fruitful as the year before. So it's okay to feel like you need to move on and mend your heart and soul. And it's okay if you're not ready for the next step. If for those who have already left and you feel like I should be healed by now, this should be over, I feel like I should be moving on, you're moving in the pace that you need to for the time that you need for your heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, if people, you don't, with the every action seems to push them away. If you're chasing someone, that's an answer. That's an answer for you. Do they want you? No, because you're chasing after them. You shouldn't have to chase anyone or prove your love to them or beg them to love you. If anyone, and even then you shouldn't, but if anyone should be within your begging of love, is to be begging yourself to love yourself. And you deserve to love yourself freely and unconditionally without having to beg yourself, please don't be mean to me. Today, your brain wants to love you. I know sometimes it can be your worst enemy. But if others are making you feel worse and it makes it harder for you to love yourself, then that's not where you're meant to be. So if it's a matter of stay or leave, always choose yourself. And I know that's not easy. I've had to do it so many times. And as much as it hurts and I miss them sometimes, and sometimes I feel guilty, but dealing and managing with that guilt and missing them is easier to manage than being around and constantly being put down and feeling like less and unloved. Easier to manage than to be around them and manage the turmoil of not choosing myself. And it gets easier every day to choose yourself. So pile number 2's message from the universe is choose yourself. Always and forever, unconditionally, unapologetically. Choose yourself, because choosing yourself is the highest form of self-love and self-care. And I'm sending you so much love because I can feel it in the heart how many of you feel deeply right now. And I wish there was more for me to tell you, because it takes great courage, and I know you have it. I know you have it, and you may not feel it in yourself, but once you're away from that situation, you'll be able to look back and be like, oh, I'm so happy I chose myself. And yeah, it was 222, 3222, and then 3223 on the clock. So you may be seeing repeated 3s and 2s. Also, oh wait, 3 and 2 equals 5, like I said, for your number of your poem. Yeah, so I'm gonna move on into this. Oh yes. Before I move on to this, for those who have moved on, as it says, staying took its toll. Don't give up on yourself and your healing. It may have took its toll, but it's not your whole chapter. I mean, it's not your whole story. It could have been a long chapter. It could have been until the climax. It could have been until almost the very end. But a lot of my poems, not all of them, but a lot of my poems are like really heavy energy. And at the end, it's like, psych, you ain't gonna get me down. You ain't gonna get me. So the universe wants you to know they ain't gonna get you. It may feel like that for now, like, staying took its toll, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel like you need healing and time. If you need extra help, there's always therapy. If you can't afford it, I always put the links of all of the playlist videos that I got in from my own therapy sessions so that you may look at them and possibly get ideas on what else you want to look into. There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. And I also have, for those who have mental health problems, it says next to it for self-assertive, just because I don't want to trigger anyone, but there's all mental health help on there. It was 3443. There's a lot of mental health help for like anxieties, depression, etc., etc. on there. So you may click on that and look what you need to, so that you feel like you can get help. If you can't get help from others, you are very capable of helping yourself. And the universe says it's in your hands. Take back your power. You're allowed to stay down. You're allowed to curl up for a little bit, but don't stay down there forever, because seeds are down in the ground, but they don't stay there forever either. And you will blossom, and you are loved, and you deserve healing. And they're proud of you for choosing yourself. For those who have walked away, the universe is proud of you, and I'm proud of you for choosing yourself, and continue to choose yourself by healing. Right. That's it? Oh no. That's better. No, that's everything? One more. Okay. Love yourself first before anyone else. And for those who may be trauma bonded, may want to look that up on how to, go about that, because that may be some of your reasons for not leaving. I have personally experienced it, and I believe in you. You don't have to put up with that. I got the word scoop. So the universe wants you to scoop your heart back up and put it back together in due time, in the pace that you want to, because the universe still thinks your heart and soul is beautiful and worthy of love. I think either it's Chinese or Japanese, I can't quite remember. There's this tradition where when a bowl breaks, they fix it with gold, because they believe that it is more worthy and beautiful than it was originally. You may look it up if you'd like. Look up golden bowls. That might not do it. Gold mending. Hold on. You want what? I'll look it up. Gold mending. Gold mending pottery is called kintsugi. Kintsugi, which means golden joinery or golden repair. It treats breaking and repairing as a part of the history of an object, other than something to disguise. Don't disguise what you went through. You shouldn't hide away because you had something happen to you. Like, your situation will be different for everyone. And that's not to say someone's situation, don't compare your situations to other people. Hardships and struggles should be empathized and compassionized, not compared and used to diminish our own story. I got the name Tom here, T-O-M, or Moot. If anyone thinks that their opinion of you leaving or anything of where you're not ready to start a new relationship and you're single and they're trying to give you a hard time for anything, a job, any situation that is pertaining to you, universe is saying their opinion is just that. It's moot point compared to what you want for your heart and what you're manifesting for yourself and what you deserve. So they may not understand, but their opinion, if it's not in for your highest good, if it's not for your highest good and they're just saying their opinion to be mean or just because they that's what they want for you, then it's moot point. M-O-O-T, moot point. Just sow cow them and move on, even though sow means pig, but either way. Does say cops. Some of you may have the law involved. I've been there, so it doesn't make you any less. It doesn't make you any less to tell your story, as their reputation is their responsibility, and it just makes it more accurate. Don't be afraid to step forward and tell your story. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of cops. I think that our justice system has definitely some flaws in it, but doesn't mean don't step up and try to defend yourself. And I will be sending all my luck and support towards you for that. Some of you may be designing your own business. Some of you just may like cows. It does have moose here. Some of you may be farmers. That might be your creativity. I did say botanist, but it could be agriculture as well. Or you just like cows. You're allowed to just like cows. Triple zero, because I see them as O's or zeros. Always reminds me of a countdown. So the time of waiting to choose yourself is over. It's time to choose yourself. You can also look up 000 in numerology if you feel called to do so. Some of you may be into pottery or doing planting, as I said, botanists with pots, or herbologists with, you could be making a herb or like some sort of your own company, as I have the COMP here, or you could be into computer technologies. That could be your creative outlet. You could be doing what is it called, graphic design, because that's what or you could be doing an online YouTube or TikTok or anything else like that that has to do with online social media, especially if you know, to share your knowledge, or you may be working with computers that you maybe do music with computers and technologies. But yeah, to move on and choose yourself, that could be a message here too for you. Pets might be important to you. But yeah, that's all the messages I have for now. Is 44 on the clock there. So 44 is going to be important for you, especially with that 4334 earlier. if anyone's into numerology. And I will be moving on. I hope that I was able to be supportive and give some insight with my poem and my personal experiences. I will be sending love your way, and I believe in you. And I know you can get through it, my pals, too. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun, and hope to see you in my future videos. Bye. Pile number 3. If you chose the multicolored purple rock here, polished rock, then this pile is for you. I will not be using a book today to flip through that I normally do, as the Spirit's been calling for me to use my insight and guidance from poems directly for Rhapsodomancy. So we will get into it. Pile number 3, Spirit. Pile number 3, Universe's messages to pile number 3s. Pile number 3, please, guides, guardians, angels, and you. Okay. Number 15. I believe it was on 45 or 46:15 when it started. I can't quite remember. But 15 could be seen a lot, or the number 6. For those who are into numerology or would like to, you can look up numerology and different numbers and to ask what their meanings are. So this could be getting a little heavy for our messages here. If you're not ready for that, you are welcome to turn off the video and come back when you're feeling more grounded or accepting for a time when there's heavy energy, and I will be here. Yeah, so let's get into it. Number 15 is called Lost. Lost. Sorrow grips hold as memories unfold, choking on melancholy and regret, seems destined to never forget. Agony of feeling cornered in defeat, unraveling from despair as the thoughts repeat, wishing for them to become lost, yet is losing your self-worth the cost. So I feel pile number 3 that a lot of you are regretting and taking your life's past choices and situations personally and taking them on as who you are, and you were thinking constantly, what if I could go back and make a different decision, and what if I did that differently, and would it still be the way it is now, and if you hadn't chosen all those paths and experiences, then that would be just that. You wouldn't have these experiences, which has caused wisdom in your time. And without wisdom, you lack of experiences, then you may not be able to navigate where you are now and know what you don't want with your life and what ways not to go in the future. Experiences make wisdom, and even, oh my goodness, hold on 1 second. There we are. People are dragging things away to go bring to their vehicle. maybe some of you are moving and having to move, and you're or having to move on from a situation, job, and you feel like maybe it would have went differently, like friendship or something like that, if you had made different choices. And I feel like you're overthinking it too much, pile number 3. If with the memories unfolding, and it grips sorrow to let go of things that are from your past, and unraveling from despair of thoughts repeating. If you find yourself, you're constantly overthinking, uh, affirmations of being like, I am present, or just simply saying no to the thought, like, pass. I do that a lot. If I'm like, pass. You know, if you're in a game show and they ask you a question or something, you're just like, pass. Don't, no, pass. Or I've heard from other places where you're like, I will not think of this today. This is not what I want to think of, and then go towards things that you want to think. But if you wish for things in your past to have not been the same, or to not go the way they were, then you'd be losing who you are today. And I think the person you are today is who you need to be. Even if you're working on yourself and you'd like to see some changes, that's wonderful, because we are always supposed to be ever changing, and a constant work in a constant work in progress. You know, we'll never be fully complete until we are done here, which means we are constantly learning. So if you learn things from the past, that's great. That's wonderful. That's what we're here for. If it hurt, I'm sorry. But it's no sorry, but that's terrible. Not how do I word this? If it hurt in the past, I empathize with that, as I have regrets about some of the things I've done as well. But at the same time, if I hadn't done those things, I wouldn't know that those things weren't for me. And if I didn't know that, then when I became healed, you know, and I was like, hey, I've never done this before, let's try that. And then I would undo all the progress I had already made. So it has an order that it works in, and healing isn't linear. So if you find yourself feeling like, I shouldn't have done that, I'd be much further in life if I hadn't done that, but would you been as experienced with what you don't want? Like with, I think it's Einstein, where he's like, I found 100 ways not to make a light bulb, and then I finally found one way to make a light bulb, right? To wish your journey away would be to lose everything that you are inside. And I don't think you should not like yourself. I think you should like yourself, pile number 3, and get to know yourself more. You know, if you don't relate to that anymore, if you feel cringe whenever you think of something you did in the past, you want to know what that means? That means you've grown. That is proof, 100% proof that you've grown, because you're like, I'm going to do things different in the future. I'm going to do things different in the present now, because I don't ever want to make that same choice. I don't want to learn that lesson again. That was a lesson that I learned the hard way, and I'm not going to learn it anymore. And then ask the universe to help you learn by bringing you lessons of love and understanding. Be like, universe, and the universe would wants your permission to do this. This is your message from the universe. It wants to work together with you to make sure you don't have to feel like that in the future about situations and choices you're making now, it wants to work together with you on it so that you don't feel defeated and cornered and agony and you're not destined to never forget it. At some point it will become less and less in your forethought. I know it doesn't seem like it at the very beginning, or even like it's down the line even, but someday you'll be happy that you started focusing on the present and working together with universe on creating your future. It doesn't want you to look at the past. It's like you learned your lesson. You got the experiences. You have the wisdom to move forward. And that's your message. You have the wisdom to move forward now. Don't be so hard on yourself. Believe in yourself. Everyone has to grow up. Everyone has their own personal hard lessons, whatever that is for you. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you unworthy of healing. It doesn't make you unworthy of blessings or good things in the future or even now. Don't block your own blessings. Allow the universe. Be like, universe, I give you permission. Universe, I'd like to learn in a way that is through love and understanding. I don't want hard lessons anymore. I have enough wisdom. And I want to move on. And sometimes it's hard to let go and even ask your guides, your guardians, or if you don't believe in any of this stuff in particular, ask support groups, ask a therapist on how to let go, or even Google it. I Google a lot of stuff when I want to heal because a lot of time I know therapy and stuff like that isn't cheap. How to let go of blank, like how to let go of an old job, how to let go and move on to a new friendship, how to let go and love myself, how to let go of needing other people's approval, you know, whatever you need to let go of because you're like wishing for them to become lost. You're not ever gonna forget because if you forget, you lose your wisdom. But over time, you can manage the hurt that comes with those memories. I'm working on it myself right now, so I can't 100% tell you how, but I can tell you it starts with believing in yourself and wanting it. When you start wanting it, you could be like, I wish I could do that. That's step one. Step two is, okay, how do step two is, I want to do that. And then step three is, how do I do that? And step four is doing it. And then step five is maybe taking a couple of steps back into the other steps and being like, because healing isn't linear, and being like, okay, well, let's start over again, back into how do I do this again? It's not ever going to be a constant move forward, and you may take a couple of steps back, and that's okay. And the universe is saying, don't be hard on yourself, forgive yourself. You're not perfect and you're not meant to be. We're human, having a human experience, and all of this is to learn different lessons and gain wisdom. If you're looking back and you cringe, that means you learned your lesson and you've grown. If you look back on things and you're like, that's still funny, even though it's like not the bestest self that you could be. Like if you look back on something that you did that was petty and you're like, still laughing at it, you still need to grow a little bit. If you look back on it and you're like, that was petty, I shouldn't have done that. That means you've grown from it and you learned your lesson and you want to be a better person. That's your soul calling out to you and saying, hey, I could do better. Because you can't do better for the past, but you can do better for your present and future. So if you have your soul calling you and being like, I could do better, then it's time. ask the universe for help, or your support team, friends, family, whoever supports you for your highest good. I know not all friends and family members are for your highest good, and eventually when you heal and rise up your energy and vibration, your soul family will come along and they will be for your highest good, and they will love you unconditionally as you should yourself, for you've come a long way through this journey and you made it. I congratulate you. I'm proud of you, and I believe in you. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's universe keeps wanting me to say it. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I feel it in myself too that they're yelling, not yelling, but like saying the message to me as well, because I'm super guilty of that. I deserve love and respect. I deserve love and respect. 44 on the clock. That's a lot of them. That's okay. I'm gonna take it. We have 5 again. So 1 and 5. 6. Like I said, with them adding up, I got double 6s here. If you may be seeing that in wherever you may see them, video games, scores, on your receipt, timestamps, clocks, when you're doing a timer, stuff, all those kind of things. We also have 2 and 7 and 3. So you may be seeing all those numbers. They could be where you're moving on to, if you're moving from one home to another, and you're, or job, license plate, if you're changing cars, stuff like that. So you may have a kid and you may feel like you weren't the bestest to them while you were doing your best to raise them. There's always an opportunity to be a better parent and apologize, because a lot of people don't get apologies from their parents, and it's the best thing to do. You're not always right, and your kid deserves an apology, and you can always be a better parent, and there's always, it's never too late. Or you may need to heal your inner child, or you might just have a child like wonder about you, and that's okay. Got the word bikes. Got some of you need to maybe you need to blow off some steam. Whereas I got the word DIDLO coming to my brain. If you're not into that, if you're asexual, that's not your message. But yeah. I got the initial or letters D. There's Diddy. Some of you guys might like Diddy, or whatever he goes by nowadays. Got K, Z, I, D. The universe says get excited about focusing on your future. I got tzatziki sauce. Some of you might like tzatziki or donairs and stuff like that. You could be eating it right now. It's just fair. Kiwi. Some of you may be passionate about making foods and eating healthy. Awesome. It could be 9 as well. They're telling me that it could be 9. So there's 5, 6, 9, 2, 7, 3. With the other Some of y'all might be blowing off some steam. That's all I gotta say, you know, or maybe you blew off steam in the past that way, you know, with your, you know, with your pursuit for pleasure, and you may be regretting it or feeling like, you know, down on yourself about it. Having a healthy, active sexual life is perfectly okay. Now, if you had used it as a form of self-harm, as you can use it as a form of self-harm, the universe wants you to know that you're not any less for it, and the fact that you recognize that now means you can move on and heal from it. It could also be due to a past history of abuse, and take steps towards giving yourself love, which is why kid, it could have been something that happened when you were a kid and then you moved on into your teenage years or whatever and used it as a form of self-harm because you didn't know how to love yourself. The universe wants you to know that you're not worth any less. It doesn't think of you any less, and it loves you. I love you, and yeah, it doesn't make you any less for doing that. Now, if you're feeling like you want to in your relationship and it's consensual, it's okay to relax. It's not always going to be a form of self-harm. Sorry, I should have said trigger a long time ago for anyone. I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to cause anyone discomfort or grief. Universe is saying you said something at the beginning, but still, I wish I had given a warning. Some of you may have been using it as a form of, you know, a way to feel in control and stuff like that. It's okay. You're not worth any less. You're not doomed to, you know, being defeated for doing that, and you get to decide. Like, they're showing me the movie Silver Playbook, where the lead lady did it a whole bunch, and then after she started healing herself, and that's a part of you. It doesn't make you worth any less. That's all I want to say is you're not worth any less. You're not worth any less. You can heal from that. And yeah, it was a form of it, but you know, you're loving yourself now or working on it, or at least your soul wants it. And that's beautiful. And that's a good start. And keep going. Don't give up. You're not worth any less. I still think you're worthy. And the universe thinks you're worthy too. Worthy of love, worthy of respect, worthy of growth, worthy of healing, worthy, just worthy. But yeah, that's everything I have for pile number 3. I hope that you enjoyed, or sorry, not enjoyed is a very heavy message, so enjoyed my poem. At least, and I hope that I could give you some comfort and guidance with my personal experiences and intuitive messages, and sending you love and support for your healing, as I know it is a journey to go through. And for all those who watched all the way through all the messages, thank you for being here. And I appreciate your support and love. Yeah, so as usual, eat, hydrate, and have fun. And I hope to see you in my future videos. Alright, bye now.